Okay, guys, just a quick confirmation. Can you all see my video? Is my audio is perfect? And also the presentation. Can you all see all three? A quick confirmation. Upon that, we can proceed. Okay. Not about others. Perfect, perfect. So, guys, hi. So, I am Hanam Naleem. So, this is our first 2026 AL theory class. So, first of all, before jumping into the session, just I want to make sure from which source you got my link. I mean, anyone who joined from Tuted, just raise your hand from that link, from Tuted group, okay? Just raise your hand. Okay, 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 fine, fine. Okay, what about others? Did anyone join from Sateha College? Sateha College? Sateha College? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so anyways, from anyway you joined, it's okay, fine. So what I want to say is welcome to my class. And the usual way I start my class is, in every class, this is what I do. So I start with a thanks. Okay, so thank you for joining the session. This is what they usually say at the last, but I'll start from what? At the beginning itself, because you have spent some time, okay, to join my session and see me. Yeah, I also know you're very much busy nowadays. Okay, so you're busier than what, 25 and 24 badges. So there are some students who are requesting for recordings also, but my humble request, guys, don't please rely on recordings, because to be honest, say honestly, you're jobless, right? Okay, you don't have much things to do also. So your seems to be much busier than 24 and what, 25 badges. So because if you start the practice of, I mean, relying on recordings, definitely it won't be effective. Okay, just 2 hour sessions, right? So you can sit at a place and allocate just 2 hours. Please don't rely on recordings. That will be a 2 hour recording, Tamai, but you will end up in like 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so we'll start. So first of all, before jumping into the session, so this will be an intro. Okay, first of all, I should introduce myself. Who am I? Okay, what's my background? What's my dashboard? What's my track record? Okay, so first thing is I'll start from my AL career. Okay, so because I'm teaching ALs, right? So I had to have something related to ALs name. So this is me. So you would have seen in the posters also, this is me. And my first thing is I did my ALs in 2023. Okay, the recent batch. And we got the results, right? I mean, this month only. I mean, obviously, last month we got the results. So this is my results. Some would know, some wouldn't know. So it's 3 years with a Z score of 2.35, and island rank is 38 district. That's all fine. Okay, so the next one is my oil results. So this is 9A. So these are my academic qualifications. In terms of schooling, these are my qualifications. Okay, next one is profession. Okay, academic, okay, fine. What about my professional background? So I am done with my AATs. I'm a past finalist. So I did while I was doing my ALs itself. And in that also, I secured a main island rank in both levels. And then while doing my ALs itself, I started what, chartered accountancy. In that also, one subject I scored more than something and got a prize. Okay, now currently I'm doing my ACCA, okay, which is the second level. Okay, so this is my background. So this is my qualification, which is my academic as well as my professional. So this is a small intro about me. So what I would suggest for y'all is, this is my background, but don't rely my teaching on this, because my teaching is different. My achievements and my personal career is different. That's obvious, right? Because just because I have these type of achievement doesn't mean I'm a good lecturer. Okay, so my lecturing style is different. That's a different path, and this is different. So what I would say is, this is my small intro. So remember, I'm not boasting myself. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. The thing is, I had to say something, because before some person is giving you an advice or else lecturing, first of all, he should have a proper background, right? So then only you will have confidence. So this is a small intro about me. Okay. Next one is, this is my, I mean, personal career, and this is my teaching career. Okay, so teaching career, okay, so this teaching, lecturing is not a new thing for me. I started lecturing, so to be honest, I'm 19 years old. Tomorrow will be 20. So I started my lecturing in 2021. Okay, my first lecturing badge was, it's not OLs, okay, it's not scholarship badges, it's not even my AS, it's AAT. Okay, AAT, it's something, a professional qualification which is more than ALs. Okay, so that was my first lecturing batch. In that batch, I had some students who are my age, below my age, and as well as above my age also. So with that, until 2022, till now, I'm continuing that. So I am completing around 5 or 6 batches. So presently, I'm doing the fifth batch. So that's my first lecturing experience. And now I'm into ALs. So ALs, okay, you are my first theory batch. Okay, only my first theory batch. So obviously in ALs, you are my third batch because I have already 2 batches in 24 also, which is business studies and account. So you are my third batch. So this is my lecturing career, the teaching career. So what I would suggest for you is please look into this than the previous slide which I showed, because this is what important. Okay, so they are, so you may have some questions, right? Okay, sir, there are some lecturers who have a good track record, lots of students, so much of experience, but you are new into the field, right? So just now you are starting. Guys, everyone started from zero, right? Okay, a lecturer, there can be a person who has 300, 500 students, okay. But at the start, they started from zero. So this is my, I mean, the initial start. Okay, so I am confident I will go to a good level. So when I am building a kingdom, I wanted y'all be to my pioneer. That means the foundation, because you are my first ever batch. So this is a brief intro about me. Did you get this? Is it okay? Fine. Is it okay? Fine. What do you all say? Okay, the shall we go forward then? Okay, fine. Next one. So next one, what I want to say is, so keep me aside as a person who has completed that descent, and keep me aside as a person who has done lecturing in the teaching field and all. Now I'm being open to you and I'm talking to you as a friend, or as a brother, or as a senior. Because when a lecturer speaks and he gives you motivation, advice and all, they always use marketing or promotion use karnavani. So leave me that behind. I'm not into that. Now I'm talking to you as a friend, because I am also from your generation. Okay, kids the mind. Okay, so I also know the trend we are moving on and the hype we have and our expectation, idea, and our style. We both are somewhat similar because I'm just 2 or 3 years elder to you. Okay, and also I have a brother of same age. I mean your age. So the same thing which I said to him, I'm conveying to you all also. So this one is, so you are just now completed your OLs. Just now completed your OLs. So when did you all finish your OLs? May when? You won't forget the dates, right? When did you finish your OLs? I mean your exam. May? What's the date? May 15th. Okay. So May 15 was the day you did something and came. Okay. So today it's June 20th. Just 1 month. Okay. Do you all think, reply me honestly, is 1 month enough for you all to recover? I mean, to have fun and start a new journey in your life. What do you all think? Is it enough, or else you need more time? What do you all think? More time there? Is it enough? Some are saying enough. Some are saying no. Enough. So these enough burgers and all are okay. They are like, I mean, LED lights, top notch burgers. Are no key guys. To be honest, when you take our badge or any badges, once they do their OLs, they will have around like 4 to 5 months break. How much? 4 to 5 months, not 1 month like your. Okay. So in my badge, I completed my OLs in March. So I got my results on September. Almost for 6 months, we were having fun. We didn't start classes also. Classes were starting after 3 months or 4 months only. But for your batch, to be honest, your batch is a cursed one. Okay, because you are the one who did the OLs very lately, had so many problems, but you all deserve a break, but you didn't deserve, because that's the government rules. So I saw many, I mean, lecturers starting classes. Okay, there was some lecturer who started classes May 15th, exams ever right. May 28th, next class. Just 1 week break. Okay, students also be like, okay, macha, we'll go for the class. So they started class by June beginning itself. Okay, June beginning itself, they started the class. Students also went and joined. Okay, guys, listen. Commerce is a subject. It's not like that. Don't get rushed. Okay, be calm. The reason why we started towards the end, the June end, is because we did AS. We also know how the syllabus run. Even the lecturer starts before your OL exam, definitely they won't have proper time to complete the syllabus. That's obvious. Then you may ask, why, sir, they started the class very early? Because it's like this, guys. They had to capture you. Okay, they have to capture you. They will say, first impression is the best impression. So when you join a class for the first time, definitely students will join that class only, because first impression, they won't have a decision to change. So lecturers take that weakness and take you. So what I want to say for y'all is, guys, don't be trapped for that. Okay. Beside a lecturer, I'm saying you as a friend for you, because we also underwent the same thing. Okay. Because nowadays, student earlier during our period, okay. So before 2020, we joined the classes, okay, to learn. Okay, we will see the lecturer whether his or her teaching is very good. What are the resources, the tutorials they are providing? Is it aligning to the guide? Okay, what are the track records they have? Okay, how much of experience they have? What other seniors say about it? Nowadays, it's completely changed. They are not joining those lecturers for those. The first thing is they want to see, okay, whether their friends are going. Okay, second thing is whether the lecture is funny, okay, entertaining. Then only they will go for classes. And the next one is, I mean, the classes should be flexible, all the facilities should be given. So that's how they, I mean, choose a lecturer. It's not like that, guys. And the most important thing is they get trapped to this market or a promotion campaign. Okay, the poster looks beautiful. There's someone making videos, audios, that, this, and all. So students get attracted for that and they join the class. So mark my words, same thing happened for us also. What happened was, like, after 3 or 4 months, we started to realize. So this bugger is not doing, I mean, lecturing, he's doing some other things. So towards the end, we shifted our lecturing style. Okay, so what I would suggest is, don't be trapped for these, because nowadays AL has become a what, guys, like a mafia. Okay, or a gang. You can see the, I mean, the style they are doing, right? Okay, like Hollywood actors nowadays, lecturers also acting. Okay, so please don't get trapped for those, please, because it's gonna be a 2-year investment. Okay, because if you choose a lecturer, you had to go with the same lecturer for 2 years. So when you're investing, you won't go by blindly and give your money, right? So you had to properly evaluate, okay, ask from other seniors, and some are there, they will ask the seniors. So senior would have gone for a lecturer, they will also going. But first of all, see the senior's result. If that person has a good result, then only you can go and join him. So based on that, choose a class. And also there are many trial classes going on June. So that's a good thing. So please, not only my classes, any trial classes, join and see. Don't be lazy, because you had to choose a proper person for the 2 years. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear, guys? Okay, the shape. What about others? Don't you all respond? Okay, fine. I want everyone to respond. Yes, fine. Good. And the next thing is, which I want to say is, your OLs and your ALs. So most of the lecturers would have been repeating this. So your OLs, and guys, you may be thinking, what the heck is this? I joined his classes to see whether he is teaching business studies, but he is covering other things, guys. Only today I will be lecturing something which is important for your life. Okay. Next class on, not only next class, for the next 2 years, it will be fully business studies. Then at that time, you can't get this, I mean, motivation, advisors, and all. Okay, so only this day, today, as an intro session, I'll be giving some advices for y'all. Please follow it. If you think that's okay, follow it, because it's an experience for us. Okay, so that's what I'm saying for y'all also. Today, take all the things which is necessary for you for upcoming 2 years. Okay, from next class onwards, definitely we'll be starting business studies. Not only from next class, for the rest of the 2 years, it will be business studies only. So for now, chill, calm. Okay, take your mind. So today there won't be much notes or stuffs and all. It's fully based on how you had to plan your A's. Okay, done. Next one is, I want to say, is your OLs and your A's. Okay, do you all think there is a relationship between OLs and A's? And the next question is, how many of you have done, I mean, commerce for OLs? Raise your hand. Commerce for OLs. At least raise your hand, man. Commerce for OLs. Raise your hand. I'm gonna say many have done, eh? Okay, perfect. Now, guys, wait. I asked the wrong question. Who didn't do commerce for OLs? Who didn't do commerce for OLs? Is okay. Only one, two, three. I'm gonna say there is a lot. Okay, fine. Whether you do commerce or whether you do Sinhala or arts or any stuff, please leave that and come to AS, because AS is something which is completely new. Yes, true. I'm talking with experience, Samai. Okay, so I want to say you will be getting your results by like August or September, because we cannot say a word right because of government. So like would be from August or September. So when you get the results, I wish and pray everyone to get a good results. But in talking about reality, some may be getting 9 A's, some may be getting 1 A, some may be not getting an A or fail. That's true, guys. That's nature. So what I want to say is, even if you get 9 A's, even if you get a fail marks, doesn't matter. Start newly for ALs. Okay, if you get 9 A's, that's good, obvious, masterclass. But when you are entering ALs, remember you had to come like a person who doesn't know anything. What? Who doesn't know anything? You are gonna be like a baby. Okay, like a boy or girl who will come for the grade 1 without any knowledge, like that only. And the next hand, the person who has got, I mean, a worse results, failure. Okay, you can't take that results itself. For those people, what I would say is, come to do commerce, do AS as you know everything. What? As you know everything. Please forget about your past. OL's done and dusted. To be honest, I'll openly speak, guys. OL's, the results is nothing. To be honest, that's a waste. Even for example, I took 9 A's. Okay, now I'm not using that 9 A's at any instance. Okay, it's not gonna be, even if I when I showed my portfolio, did you concern on my OL results or AL results? ALs ne. So OLs is, I mean, you had to pass OLs, but it's not the final way. Because now when I am saying that, you will be like, Arey, me balapa. We did our May OLs with so much of difficulty, 9 different subjects in different languages, went for many classes, seminars, notes, that, this and all. And this dude is coming in saying OLs is nothing. True. Okay, that's true. Because just ask yourself, guys, Max, you study Max in OLs, ne? You study something called congruency law or proving law, logbook law. Just think about me. Am I using those nowadays? Log. You can take a cal and you can do that log within 10 seconds, which you spend like hours to do. Okay. And the next subject is, which is called as geometry. Yeah, that metric. Who cares? And the next subject you have is something called, which is science, which I hate the most. Okay, science, okay, you will study something called photosynthesis, and you have three things, name: physics, biology, chemistry. I don't know. Okay, if you are doing commerce, okay, what's the purpose of studying science? What's the purpose? And the next subject, there's another subject called, you will do a first language, Kela. Your mainstream is English. There may be some students who you had to do either Sinhala or Tamil. Even studying in English is difficult, and you had to do another language also. Bullshit. Okay, just think. You would have studied literature, that poem, this poem, and all. Are you all using that now? Hmm. Okay, just to speak only you need language. And the next one is, you have a subject called history. Okay, how many of you like history? Just raise your hand. How many of you like history? There is a bugger who likes history. Uh, uh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, once you get the result, you have to drop me a message. Huh? These buggers, Zaidab, Shifa, Atifa, Aisha, you all like history. Ne? So once you get your results, you have to drop me your results. So guys, history, yeah, it's interesting for some. It is boring for few. It's okay, fine. Just think, are you using history now? You would have studied Parakrama Bahu's all the wives. You won't have one wife, guys. You will have many wives. And his father, his great grandfather, you will study all the names. Now, do you use those? You have something called Google. 1 minute ago, you will get the answer. Are you going to use those now? No. So just think, are you getting the old, I mean, the results, is that important now? No, not at all important. So remember, always won't define your life. Okay, with that knowledge, don't come for ALs. There are many students who are like, who did commerce for ALs, and there are some students who didn't do commerce. Don't worry, guys. Even without doing commerce, also you can continue AL advanced studies in commerce. Okay, I said, once you're starting ALs, it's a first step in your life. You had to start newly, because when you take your life, it's like a book. Okay, it's like a book. So one chapter is not now closed, that is your OLs. One chapter is done and dusted. Now a new chapter is going to begin. What? A new chapter is going to begin, that is your ALs. So life has given you another chance. What life has given you another chance. Okay, I would say is, that's the last chance. Okay, if you want to make an impact, if you want to take use, if you want to have a good reputation, a brand name, a recognition, a proper successful life, mark my words, this is the best chance you have got. Okay, if you lose it, Mark my words, you will regret for eternity. But you will regret for eternity for sure. So advanced level studies, a new chapter. Okay, advanced level is a new chapter. You have your pen in your hand. It's you who's gonna write your life. Okay, it's you who's gonna write your life. And for some it will end with a full stop. That means until that only their life. After that, when you turn the pages, nothing. For some, for example, like us and all, advanced level study, once the chapter is over, it's a comma for us. That means we have completed one chapter and we will be, for example, when you take us, people like us, we are moving on to another chapter. Why? Because our advanced level life was a comma. It's not a full stop. So what I would say for you all is study advanced level, and there may be some in their advanced level chapter only halfway, other halfway lost. Okay, so remember your advanced level study is very, very important. When you take context of Sri Lanka, one of the most competitive field is ALs. And also the field which I like the most, because advanced level, you choose a stream, right? You will choose bio or else max or else commerce or arts. When you, example, we take commerce, you have subjects like accounting, business studies, economics, ICT. When you take all these four, all are connected to commerce, all are connected to commerce. When you take science also, but you have bio, chemistry, physics. All these are connected to what? Bio, the science field. So this is what you had to do. Because when you take your OLs, when you take 9 different subjects, there is no point because you can't understand in which field you are talented at. But ALs, it's like your field, okay, your game, because you are going to choose a subject which you like and which your talent is on. So commerce, all 3 subjects are interconnected. So that's a big advantage for you. And also in Sri Lanka, remember, ALS is very important. There may be some uncles and aunties coming to you and whispering into your ears, mostly your parents here, saying that ALS, waste need 2 years. So say them to do a degree, okay, do a diploma, or else say them to migrate. Bullshit, guys. To be honest, now we are realizing the value of ALS. Many of my friends also did the same. Once all is done, මචන් ඒල් කරන්නේ නැද්ද? මචන් ඒක waste මචන්, just for 2 years spending waste නේ, I am following a degree. Okay, but when I go now and see them, they are saying මචන් මේ ඒල් කරනවා නම් මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ, මොනවාරි අර oil qualifications ඕනේද, කොහමද apply කරන්නේ? I said why what's the reason? නෑ මචන් degree එක follow කරන්න ඕනේ නම් ඒල්ස් ඕනේ. To follow a degree, they're asking AL qualification, AL results. Same like that, when you go for foreign countries also, for some foreign countries, AL qualification is important. It's a must. For example, Middle East and all, for studying purpose or anything, AL qualification is a requirement. From where the hell you will get that? Okay, so remember, ALs is very important. So don't lose focus at any instance and don't give up. There will be many people coming and saying discontinue ALs. Don't. Okay, please pursue the 2-year program properly and with a fresh start, because I said it's a new chapter in your life. Okay, be enthusiastic, be dedicated from the first day. Definitely you will be a successful person by the end of year 2. Okay guys, up to this okay then? Up to this okay then? Okay, another question. That's a good question which every student asks, which I don't reply at all. Sir, where did you go for classes? Sir, where did you go for classes? Because example, if I go for one lecturer, if I get an island rank, they will be like, oh, Madhusidi, that's the lecturer we want because that person has produced an island. Guys, to get a rank or to get a district rank or a good Z score, with one subject you can't do. You had to be perfect with all 3 subjects. You had to perfect with what? All 3 subjects. So one lecturer will be promoting me. See, this is my student. So much of dedication. So he or she got an island rank. Guys, I'll be honest. The person who is studying, whatever the lecturers they go, they will get a rank. That's how those people are. Wherever they go, they will get a rank. But for y'all, what I would suggest is, than asking which lecturers I went, you can ask, sir, how did you study? What's your study plan? Because whatever the lecturers I go, my study plan is the same thing. Okay, my lecturing, my studying pattern, my studying hours, self-study plan, everything will be same. Whoever the lecturers I go. So that's what very important. Okay. Any other? Yeah, so that double 80 thing, I'm not gonna say here. So that could be like turning into a promotion campaign. So if any doubts, you can ask those after the class. Okay, so here we'll be focusing on part A's. Okay, okay. You're asking many questions, man. I can't read also. Okay, wait. First of all, I mean, stop this, finish this, and I'll answer your questions. Okay, our study plan, what time, this and all. Okay, fine. And there's a question: is it your first lecturing batch? I said, nee, theory, okay, you are my first. In revision and all, I have, I mean, like two batches going on. Okay, so next one is what I want to say is ah, school or private candidate. That was a question. School or private candidate. Okay, how many of you all are schooling for ALs? How many of you all are schooling for ALs? One, two, three. Okay, 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 okay. I hope others are private candidates. Okay, fine. Good. So schooling also there are some private candidates also. There are some genius. They will be like, Madan, give me some time. Like 1 or 2 months, I will decide. You be like that. Once you get the result, you'll get a slap only. So remember, you can go for school also. You can do ALs as private candidate also. If you go for your school teachers and ask, Miss, what shall I do? Shall I do as, I mean, private candidate, or else shall I mean, join for a school? Your teachers will definitely say, okay, join school. That is only important. That is only very much will give you a value addition, because they are asking for a school teacher. If you go and ask for my lecture or something, sir, what shall I do? Shall I go for my private classes or my school and all? They will say the private candidate is very important, because then only you can have much time. That's what promotion is. So what I'm gonna say is, schooling and private candidates, you should select based on your personal situation. Okay, if you're going for school, remember, if you're choosing school, you can, what are the advantages you can gain is, our leaderships are there, example fix, you can engage in co-curricular. If you are good at sports, then school is the best choice. Okay, and also if you are not interested on those things, and if you have some other stream, for example, there are maybe some students who are doing business currently, father's business, they are business, so for them is, I mean, schooling is not important. And there may be some students like, so schooling is very far, or else the cost is very high for them. Okay, private candidate is okay, fine. And the advantage is, remember, when you go for school, the advantage is, guys, you have something called term exams. So you know, right, when you get a term exam or a timetable, you will get pressurized, right? Okay, you'll have that stress and you'll start to study. But when you are a private candidate, you don't have that facility. You don't have term exams. The only exams you have is in your private classes. So that's a disadvantage for you. Okay, and an advantage of my private candidate is, you have plenty of time. If you go for school, it's from like 7 to 2. You come home by 4, you'll have be tired, and you start to study by 7 only. Okay, so definitely you won't have much time to study. Okay, because self study, I am saying what is meant by self study. Okay, you won't have much time for what? Self studies. But if you are a private candidate, you will have much time for what? To do self studies and all. But doing as a private candidate, in my point of view, is very risky, because you, first of all, I mean, evaluate yourself whether you have the talent, I mean, the capability to do our term exams, okay, mock exams and all. And also evaluate whether you have the, I mean, capability to do self studies, properly plan your studies and do. Because if you go for a school, you have something, right? There is someone to guide you. But if you are a private candidate, you don't have that. So based on that, decide. Okay, based on that, design. Don't just jump into the field. First of all, properly have a plan and design. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, up to this clear? Yes or no? Yes, the no, the yes. Okay, 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 fine, fine, fine. What about others? Are you all there in the meeting? Are you all there in the meeting? I don't see other names replying. Sir, should we prepare a timetable to study? Wait, wait, I'll see that. Huh? Okay. What about others? Guys, reply, man. Then only I'll also be motivated and you'll also be what? Active. Okay, fine. Next one is what I want to say is, if you're starting commerce, okay, if you are doing commerce in your AL stream, I would better recommend you do a professional qualification also along with that. Do something. I'm not saying do only professional qualification, do some other activities also, because when you take field like science and maths, you had to be in that field only. I mean, you had to be with the books. You had to sleep with the books, to be honest. But if you take commerce, you had to explore, you had to go out of the boundaries and you had to study. And also commerce is not tough as maths or science. So you have some time. So use that time properly, because commerce is a competitive field because many are doing it. So once you get the results, you had to be, for example, you also have 3 A's, your friend also has 3 A's. So when taking for a job, what they will consider, you had to have something extra, right? So what I would suggest is do some professional qualifications, not only professional qualification, you can have a small startup or something, okay, a small business. Boys do usually they plan for high only. When you take girls, they do. What's the, I mean, business they do? They start may like, I mean, baking cakes, okay, mehendi. They do something, okay. They will have an Insta page for that, everything. But boys, they don't do like that. They will always have a plan, but they don't implement. But make a small plan, okay, a small startup. So what I did was when I was doing ALs, okay, so I did everything. I focused on my studies. I did my professional qualifications, and also I learned how to invest also. Okay, I invested in cryptocurrency, in stock markets, and also I did online business also in 2 years. Promise. Okay, I did everything because I understood only studying won't be enough. So I had to go beyond that. So what I did was I did everything. So what I would suggest for y'all also, please don't rely only on your studies. Okay, go beyond the boundary and do some extra stuff. So when you are out of ALs, I mean, when you're done with your ALs, you will have that at a competitiveness. When compared to others, you will have a small advantage. Okay, एक clear. So what's my subject selection? I took accounting, economics, and business studies because ICT I hate. So I didn't take ICT. So I took accounting, econ, and business studies. So you would have joined our yesterday session. It was done by Kalibas, who does ICT. So he would have explained how the Z-score works, the ranks works, and all. For people like us, we have the least priority because I didn't take ICT. So for us, getting into even top 50 is a question mark. I mean, to the ranks, because when you take subject, when you don't have ICT, you can't get a good Z score. It's very difficult. So you had to be 100% perfect. So somehow I was able to manage to be in the top 50. So at the end, it's not about the rank. So it's achievement, Tama. It's a dream for everyone. But it's not, but as I said, it's not full stop. It's comma. You had to move on with that. Okay. Guys, it's like I am doing an interview when you're asking me questions, sir. What was your strategy to reach it? Man, I will tell that because if I answer your question, sometimes I don't have focus on what I'm doing also. Step by step, I'll see. Okay. So, and another question, a good question, not a question, a comment I got. I love ICT. So, if you are really fond of ICT, please go with it because that's gonna make the change right in the future. So, ICT, it's also a good choice. So, I'm not saying this subject is good, this is bad, that this and all. It's your preference. Choose whatever you want because in our school we had accounting is compulsory, business studies is compulsory. We had to choose either econ or IC. So that's the choice we had. So it depends on the schools also. Okay, so based on that, take a proper decision. And the next thing which I want to say is, and so as I said, don't be focused only on studies, cover everything. Okay, so the questions which all are, so what's the plan? Okay, how to study that and all. So I won't say what's the plan because guys, I don't know for which classes you are going, from where are you schooling or private candidate, okay, what's your studying pattern, because I am a student who always used to study at late nights, early mornings won't work for me. So there may be something who will be able to, I mean, study in early mornings. So it depends on you, but in conclusion what I'm saying is have a plan. Have a plan. This month, this is what I'm gonna study. Okay, this month, this is a chapter I'm gonna do. This month, this is the plan I'm gonna have. So it's not a monthly plan. You have to have a week plan. This week, what are the things I'm gonna study? So what I would suggest is for a week, don't study only one subject. Try to study all three subjects. And I would please recommend you, okay, I will beg you start working from first day itself. Okay, because when you take me, I didn't, towards the exam, there were some of my friends who were studying like 12 hours, 14 hours for a day. I didn't do like that. For the towards, I mean, like 1 month before the exam, I took only like 6 to 7 hours to study. The reason is, guys, from day one, we were studying. Day one, we didn't study 6 hours, 7 hours. No, 2 hours time. Okay. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. After first term, that two became three. Okay. After three, four, five, six. That's all. Okay. So, but the main thing we had was consistency. All the 7 days we used to study. Just 2 hours, ne. 2 hours is not a big deal, ne. Some days we won't be able to study. So what we do is the next day we'll study for 4 hours. Okay. The next day we'll study for 4 hours. So the main thing you had to have is consistency. you had to study daily. Okay, you have to study daily. There may be a student A. He or she will be studying for 10 hours in one day. For that week, he or she will be studying for 10 hours only on one day. But there may be a student who will be studying only 1 hour for every day. In my point of view, that person B, the second option, that's best. Because you had to learn every day. Then only you will be in that touch. Okay. So always have a plan. When you have a plan only, you know what to do. Okay. Remember, your OL is a good experience for you. You know where you went wrong, what are your weakness, what are your laziness, and everything you know, right? So you have like a conclusion. So based on that, don't try, make the same mistake now also. Please make a change. And I said there is a new chance for you. Okay, you can make wonders. In yesterday's session, that person who got only 1 A, and today he's an island ranker. From 1 A to an island ranker. So see, he got the use of what the chance. And there is another person, one of my friend who got 9 A's. Okay, for AL, he didn't get even a pass. Even a pass. Got 9 A's in OLs and even he did get a pass. So that's what. Don't be overconfident also. Okay, don't be overconfident also. Use this platform for you all to change your life. Okay, done. Next one is guys, classes. I'm doing business studies through online also. So through online, I'm connecting two platforms. First one is Tutate, which is mine, and Sateh College. So from that also, students can join for my online sessions. So it will be on Thursdays 4 to 6. And I also do physical classes also on Sundays in Sateh College. So I do both accounting and business studies. Accounting I do only for boys from 9 to 11:30 Sundays. And for my business studies, I do from 12 to 2 on Sundays. That will be mixed, both girls and boys. So if you want to, try physical, the environment also, you are welcome. You can come on Sunday and see me. Okay. And if you are planning on joining for online also, you're welcome. Anyhow, now the next thing is out. So when doing this session, okay, just a question which is out of the box. How many of your parents are also watching this? Be honest, be honest, be honest. How many of your parents are also watching this? How many of your parents are also watching this? No one. You are in a alone room, okay, you have much focus, having a study table in front of you, a book with so much of dedication. No one. That means your parents are asleep. Okay, fine. So if your parents are awake, okay, if your parents are awake, just call them also. Okay, just call them also. It's your mom, dad, what be there, definitely work. If your mom is there, just call them also. Okay, just for 2 or 3 minutes, or else take the device and go near them also. Just for, I will give you 1 minute. Can you do that for me? Just for 2 minutes. Can you do that? Can you do that? I'll give you 1 minute. Soon, soon, soon. Hey boys, I know you won't go. You'll be in the bed then like watching like a movie. Just for two minutes. Okay, fine. Okay. How many of y'all are with your parents? Your mom or dad watching? Others? Okay, fine, fine. I don't raise the hands for fun now. So my dear parents, moms and dads. So what I want to say is, so I will use bilingual language also. So what I want to say is, your child is going to start a new chapter in your life, their life, which is ALS. So I would recommend you also to be with them because it's a new chapter. Oyala teyalagen inna. Okay. Eyalata support එකක් දෙන්න. මොකද්ද කියනවා නම් they are solely relying on you. The parents which you were in your grade 1. Okay, grade 1 එකේ අර මේ support එක දෙන්නේනේ. Grade 1 එක you will be dropping your child. You will go drop them and kiss their forehead and send them. But when it goes, when they grow up, that type of archaeaness will reduce, right? So you can understand. OLs එකේ ඒ වගේම මේ archaeaka දුන්නද නැහැ. So when ALs also, I don't know how many of your parents know which student, which stream they are choosing, what are the subjects, which classes they are going. I don't know how many parents know. So I would recommend, please ask them. Okay, please ask them what's the stream you are choosing, what are the subjects you are selecting, who are the lecturers, and ask them what are you interested at. and ask their plans also after 2 years when you complete your IELTS, what you're gonna do, because it's your child. Okay, it's you only had to take a decision for them, because many, I mean, parents, what they do is ALZK, they will leave the pay. I mean, students, you go in your way. Don't do like that. It's your child, so you had to be with them, because I am talking with a small amount of experience I have. Usually, like towards the exam, 1 month before the exam, what they do is parents call and ask, my child is not studying, what to do, what to do. So there is no point in asking at that situation. So you had to correct them at the first itself, because ALZK important at the same time ALS is very risky. That's the place where many students go wrong in the wrong field, because they have some of a good weapon in their hand, which is the phone. Okay, so that's the main tool which can divert them to hell as well as for heaven also. So please have a focus on them for 2 years. Be with them, give your support also. Okay, every week or else every month, ask them how is your studies, what are the classes, okay, is it okay, fine. Please be with them. Yeah, you may not know what stage subject they are choosing, what are they studying. Even if you take my parents also, they didn't go for, I mean, higher studies also. But every month or every week, they usually ask me, what's the class you are going? They will check my books. Okay, they don't know what I have written, but somehow they will have a small concern. So it's your child. Yeah, your child may be, I mean, taller than you, but still it's your children. So you had to look after them. So it's my one of my humble request. So please be with them, give the necessary support. OL results, just neglect it. That's a mistake they have done. If they get good results, it's a big honor for you all. If it is not up to the level, it's okay, leave. Give them a second chance. So now for students, for you all, please do this properly. So you are making a good results just to make your mom or dad happy. Okay, so that's the expression you're going to show them. So that's the only thing, because just ask your mom or dad what they want in return. They want only one thing. Mage puta success vennu. They won't ask anything in return. You had to earn, you had to look after. No. Mage puta success vennu. Eka vitarai alage no. So study this on behalf of your parents. Okay, so that's all. Thank you, parents. Okay, guys, you all can come to your room. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, then. If your mother didn't understand the language, you can translate up. Okay, ne? Okay, fine. Next one. Okay, up to this clear, right? Okay. Next one is what I want to say. So it's gonna be five, right? So I don't want to start the session today itself, guys. Or a business studies or a new chapter. So I thought to start in next week, but I'll give a brief intro about what is business studies. Okay. So there may be some students who are still in confusion whether to take PS or not, or else take ICT or else Econ. You have many confusions. So you can consult. Sir, do you recommend to do model papers additional to past papers? So that papers now, no need, man. Just know you're gonna start your theory lesson. So for now, no need to do papers and all. Once you complete a chapter, we can jump into that. So if you're a 25, I think you are a 25 fellow. So what I would suggest is start from past papers. First of all, do past papers, then jump into other model and zonal papers. Okay. So next thing is our next slide. Okay, this is the question everyone has. Okay, what is business studies? Why I should choose it? Competitive advantage? What if? And these are some other questions which is running in your mind, right? Okay, which is running in your mind for sure. Okay, so I will answer questions. Okay, I mean the common questions which students ask and what's about business studies. Okay, so when you take commerce, guys, in commerce, okay, one subject is compulsory. What's that? If you are doing commerce, you must do that subject. What's that subject? Anyone? Accounting. They say that accounting is the heart of commerce because accounting is compulsory. That's fine. And the second thing is the rest of the two subjects. Either it can be BS, Econ, ICT. It's your choice. You can select and do, but accounting is mandatory. It's must. You had to do that. Okay. So when you take a subject like business studies, it's a combination of everything, guys. Business studies ගත්තොත් ඒකේ chapter එකක් තියෙනවා financial management කියලා. Financial management, you are studying about accounting. Okay. Then in business studies, you have a subject called chapter number 7, which is money and bank. In that, we'll be studying about economics. Okay. In business studies, you have another chapter, which is chapter number 17, information system. In that, you'll be studying a small part about ICT. But same thing applies for other subjects, accounting, economics, ICT. You'll study like interrelated thing. No, econ nang econ tama. Accounting nang accounting tama. ICT nang ICT tama. But business studies is a combination of all these subjects, guys. All these subjects, they give a small intro. So business studies is very important. It should be in your portfolio if you're doing commerce. That's my point of view. Because commerce is something which is related to business. So definitely this subject should be there in your portfolio. Please, if you're opting, if you're not opting to do, I don't know what to say, but I would recommend if you are choosing commerce, please do what business studies as a subject, because that will bring out you many benefits, guys. Mark my words, because you won't realize it until you finish your ALs. Once you, guys, wait a minute. Sorry for that. So what did I stop? Business studies. So once you finish your ALs, you will understand you will regret if you didn't choose business studies, to be honest. So please, in your portfolio, have this subject also. Okay. Next one is which I want to say is, if you are choosing a subject, definitely you have pros and cons. That means positives and what? Negatives, definitely. So if you take business studies, one of the advantage you have is compared to all other subjects, business studies is easy. I'll be open. Business studies is easier than accounting. It is easier than economics. It is easier than ICT also. So getting a result, a good result is, it's very easy because subject is easy and you will be able to understand also. That's one of the advantage, but which I would say. And the second thing is cons, the disadvantage. Okay. So disadvantage is our badge. Okay, our badge, or when you see the pass rates of the last 3 or 5 years, business studies has a good pass rate. That means many get through. Many get through the exam, but the problems comes with the percentage of A's. When you take A, only few get A's. Definitely they will pass through the exams. They will get C, S, B, but getting an A is a problem for many. Okay, getting an A is a problem for many. The main thing, the main issue with that is, guys, because you have answers. The way you give your answers. In my class, to be honest, there are some students who are they are masters in business studies. They know the concept perfectly, very well. But I get better marks than them. But they know very well about business studies than me. What's the reason, guys? Because when you are writing an answers, okay, when you are writing an answer, your answer should be aligning to your guide. Guide can be teacher's guide. So in that only it will be clearly mentioned, a definition is given. So that definition only you had to write in your exams. So some students, what they do is they just build up their own definition and they make an answer. Please don't do that. Okay, that's what I have seen in my experience. Many students make up their own answers. Don't, guys, because your examiner, when you take the person who is marking your exams, they don't know under which lecturer you studied, which dudes you prefer. They know only one thing. This dude is doing business studies, so the answer should be from the guide. That's the scheme they have. So when you take my tude, the way I learned, everything is from the guide. So I will take my lecturer's notes and I will always compare with the guide. Guide, okay, is the definition is aligning to the guide. Then only I'll study. Because at the end, that's what gives you marks. Because when you take questions like fill in the blanks and all, they want the exact definition from the book. They want the exact definition from the book. That's what happened for the present batch also. The reason they are competent for for economics, accounting and all A. For business studies B. It's not their weak. The problem is the way they are making up the answer. The way they are making up the answer, it went wrong because they don't know how to write an answer. They are writing their own definition. Many students have that choice. They think, okay, we can write our own definition. No. When you take my tude, every definition is aligning to the guide. Based on the guide only, I have made the definition. That's what I did in my exams. Hopefully, I got a good results. So I want to make that happen for you all also. Okay. Yeah, any textbooks? No textbooks. No. For AS, you don't have textbooks. But I would recommend this if you can buy guide. Okay, I said name which is teacher's guide. So you can download also. Okay, if possible, I will share in the group. You can download it also, or else you can have the hard copy also. Textbooks are not needed because AS you don't have textbook like in your OS and all. So it's fully your lecturers tunes and plus the guide. So rely my tunes because I'm not boasting on that because when I will make the tune, I usually see whether the definition is aligning to the what the guide. Based on that only I choose. And the second disadvantage, okay, another second disadvantage they have is it's a misconception. Okay, this is what I have seen many students practice is they go for classes for accounting. For econ also they go. For ICT also they go. But for business studies they don't. When you go for school or else in the process you will understand. When you call a friend, you will see macam tasks yanawada upang koide yanne they will give that this and all, then you say macam business studies ekada yanawada adu business study marul easy ne pang just theory ne we can just memorize and write the answer. That's what yeah what the I mean the path to hell starts. This happens to my friends also. They were like for the six months, for 6 or like 1 year they didn't go for classes. Machan bhai, it's very easy, Machan. Just the notes we had to memorize and write the answers. I laughed at it. I was like, okay, one day you will get a shot, then you will realize. Grade 30, they understood it's not gonna work. Because, guys, how much you study alone, you need someone's guidance. Many think business studies is easy, so we can have self-study. Self-study is important, but you need someone to guide you. Me, even though I can study well, I was not like Pandit. Okay. I thought, okay, business studies, I know at the end it will be a hell of a subject. So I joined the classes at the beginning itself. So many students now also they message. Now the message and ask the most asked question, the frequently asked question is, sir, how to study business studies? I would ask, what's your grade, Pute? So grade 13. How many months you have left for your exams? 5 months. Just 5 months left the exam. They're asking me a question, how to study business studies. What's the reason? Because they didn't have a proper guidance to do. There was no one to give a proper guidance. I asked, where did you go for classes for grade 12? So grade 12 classes, I didn't go, sir. I started from grade 13. You will get piled up. One of the classic example is history. How was history? When you say honestly, many don't go classes for history at grade 10. They will go for what classes towards the end of grade 11 for seminars, that paper class, this paper class. Why? Because that becomes difficult. Why? You accumulate the notes, right? You will accumulate the theory and keep, and you will be like, okay, Machan, at the last moment, I will just go through. When you go through, you will be like, hell. To be honest, have you had that experience? Say truly, yes or no? Okay, yes or no? Did you have that experience? Yes. You will accumulate the notes and keep. Finally, you will be like closed off. You will be like, what to do, how to study, so much of notes. Same thing happens for business studies also. So please don't think it as easy. I will say business studies is easy, easy subject, but don't take it easy. So you have to work from first day onwards. So when you're starting on first day, remember grade third because grade 13 all you have got to study, guys. Because when you take accounting you do questions every day. Okay, every class you do questions, so you have that practice in your hand. Economics also the same, ICT also the same, but business studies you don't do may sums and equations. It's full of theory. When you go read the past paper also, you will be like, there is a lot of questions. They asking me to explain on all. So definitely I can't do Kela, you want. But accounting, economics, no. It's sums and equations, so it will be interesting. You will try. Business studies, most of them they don't do. Towards the end only they will realize. Okay, I'm talking based on my experience. This is true, guys. Please don't take business studies easy. So how to take short notes for business studies? A good question. One of the best way you can study is taking short notes. That's what I also do. I will take business studies tudes. Okay, what I do is I will make some short notes so it is easy to memorize. But what I realize that's very helpful. That's a big advantage for students. So you can ask from my revision batch students also. I give short notes. I will share to the group. I will make a short note for each chapter and I will send for the students. So with that, it's like an A3 format. You can take a print and you can paste at your home. So whenever you're going passing by, you can just read it and you can have a quick recap. So for each lesson, that's my plan. For each lesson, I make short notes and also we had to do unit exams also because obviously we had to do exams. Questions is important. So every lessons I'll be giving some short notes for you all. So than me, what you can also do is you can make up your own short notes. Okay, some may have the practice, some don't. So you can make your own short notes and all. And when studying this subject, guys, remember when this, yeah, what's the question? Yeah, it's A3 because lots of their name. And so A3 AK, you can take a sprint because A4 AK, we can't make a short note. A3, I have made everything. I'll just share it to the group. You can see that. Okay. So for now, calm and cool. Don't think much. So short notes, other known exams, and our past papers guide. We'll go step by step. I said, nee, don't be at a hurry. We can go step by step. And my classes also, I didn't start earlier because I know. Okay, students, be calm. We can go step by step. Short notes, I know when to issue, how to issue, and so please trust us. Okay, because we have something. So trust us, we can go because the most important thing you had to do when you join a class is you had to trust the lecturer. That's what I understood. I felt because when I joined the classes, I started doubt because usually our studying buggers, our intelligent buggers have that thoughts name whether this lecture is good or that lecture is good. So when I joined the classes, I had the same confusion. Okay, his notes are not complying with the guide. What shall I do? Oh, he is missing this chapter. So I can remember at that situation, my same lecturer said me, don't doubt on your lecturer. You had to trust him or her. So because if you trust only, guys, you will go towards him. Until your exams. That's what I also did. I was like, okay, what he or she is giving is the correct one. Okay, we should trust it. Then only we also can have what confidence and go ahead. I applied, it worked out. So what I would suggest for y'all also, trust. Okay, trust this person can do a good job. That's what we are doing trial classes. But with 2 classes, you can't decide a person. But based on your point of view, select, is this person good, is his teaching style is perfect, whether his tutorials are good, what about his short notes, okay, what are the extra stuff he's doing, whether this bugger is doing classes for fun or is taking enjoyment from the students, or this or is he's doing so much of marketing. You can consider these and all. You can choose a lecturer. And just now when I started the class, I saw news. Okay, so our education minister, who is our education minister? Who is our education minister? Susilo. This Susil your next door neighbor. Huh? So yeah, it's our Susil, that guy. So our education minister has said that within 5 years, okay, there won't be students at school. Everyone will be in tuition classes. It's true, guys, because nowadays tuition has become like a mafia. Okay, like they are competing with each other, fighting with each other. But I would ask from you all, guys, please don't put me into that criteria where they do like what to say, like a business and all. So take me away from that. I am doing this as out of my passion, as per out of my interest, because God gifted me with knowledge. So I wanted to share with this. I want to share with y'all. So that's the main reason I'm doing that. Please don't mix me into that. Okay. Yeah, so that's the problem. So I am also like within 5 years I also had to search for a new job. So now also I'm planning, because once that is implemented, definitely one day you will see a news saying that tuition classes are banned. I'll bet definitely there will be a news. So at that time I will be in the road. So now itself I have to start for a new job. Okay, and the next thing is why what I want to say is business studies is needed for your life. Business studies is needed for your life, because guys, you may think accounting would work, economics would work, ICT no, because I would say on your personal experience, I'll ask a question from y'all itself. What's your ambition? What are your ambition? Who wants to be an accountant? After doing commerce ne, after my final destination, I want to be a chartered accountant. Who wants to be an accountant? Raise your hands. Who wants to be an accountant? One, two. What about others? One, two, three. Okay, accountant. So some are very much are shy to raise their hands to show their ambition. I don't know why. Okay, what about others? Anyone who wants to, there is a person who wants to say software engineer. Yes, good. Who wants to, run their own business like an entrepreneur. Okay, have their own kingdom. Who has that type of ambition? An entrepreneur, a businessman. What about others? Many are like that. Okay. Okay, some said they wanted to be an accountant, and some said they wanted to be do business women. It's him, okay, and entrepreneur. Okay, fine. What about others? Who wants to be jobless? For that also they'll raise the hand. See, will you? Who wants to be jobless without any job? Okay. No one. Yes, Umar Nisrin. Yeah. So he wants to be jobless instead, guys. It's like this. When you take accountant, so software engineer, good job. So software engineer, accountant, anything, you are an employee. What? You are an employee. You are just a slave. You had to work for a monthly salary. Your monthly salary would be 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh. That's your limit. You won't go beyond that. 5 lakhs is, for example, your salary means that's your limit. You can't go beyond that. And you had to be under a person. You had to follow his or her instruction. Simply, you had to be like a slave. But you had to be like a slave. You know slave, right? So they get the work done from others. So that's the thing which you will get if you be an accountant. I'll be honest. Okay. So think about the person who is giving that job to an accountant. Software engineer. Think about the person who is giving the job for a software engineer. Who is that? He is a businessman. Okay, he or she is a businessman. So for that, but he or she needs this subject, right? Because definitely, guys, in one point of time, mark my words, like once you are done with your else, some would be starting their own business, some would be working like accountant and all. Okay, fine. But remember, until 25 or 30, it's okay. Work, do a perfect job, get enough amount of salary. One day, most after you're 30, remember, you had to have your own business. You had to start your own business. Yes, your profits may be low. Okay, you may be earning losses. Your income may be low. It's okay, fine. But the satisfaction would be high because you are the person who is running the business. You no need to obey anyone. You are giving work for others. So think that feeling. Just think about that feeling. So that's the primary motive of this subject, business studies. Because in my sessions, what I say for my students is, first thing is I see them as a student. Okay, as a student, I will say as an intelligent student. Okay, and the next thing which I want to say is these 24. Okay, these all the 24 and also those who are watching the recordings. What I want to say is, guys, more than students, you are my customers. Am I true? Yes. Because am I charging you a fee? Yes. If I am charging you a fee, simply I'm doing a business thing. Yeah, they may be lecturing saying that no, we are teaching education, that, this, and all. You are my what humble, lovely students. So are they giving it for free? I mean the classes, no, they are charging you something. Anyway, we are doing a business, my guys. I'm a seller, you are a buyer. So I want you all to be a what? An intellectual customer. That's what I say for my other batch students also. I want to train you all to be an intellectual customer because studies is done with ALs. After that, you have what? Rest of your life. For that, you won't be students. So you'll be buying, okay, you'll be engaging other activities. For that, you have to have some knowledge. You have to have that intelligence, intellectuality for be a what? A good customer. So more than students, as like students only, what I would say is you are my customers also. I'll be honest. Because if once I charge you a fee, simply I'm doing a business stuff. Okay. So there was a question asking, sir, should we memorize business studies? Some may be saying that, okay, business studies is a subject. Okay, you should not be like a parrot, like a bookworm. You should not memorize that, this and all. But little bit you had to be a parrot also because definitions and all, what I would do is I always take present context as the example. I will show my PDF. Okay. I always take an example related to that and I will connect with the theory. Okay. So you will understand the theory through what? Example. For example, what I have done is for business activities, the definition for business, I have taken KFC. So when you take business, so you will understand, this burger said about KFC. He said something about KFC. So how does KFC function? Okay. These are the things we can do. So based on that, you will build up your own definition name. So this is how I make my students to write answers. And also remember, understanding is important. Understanding is the first priority. And the second thing is you have to be memorized also, guys. That's true. Because when you take subjects like third chapter and all, you have many standards. Standards can, for example, ISO 14001, there is a special name for that. Okay. Just ask yourself, can you understand that and study? For example, 10,000 means this is the name. If it is 14,000, this is the name. Can you learn that? Can you write an answer only with understand? No. For that, you had to be a parrot also. So it's a mixture of both. You had to be a parrot as well as a person. You had to be a person who can understand and give out answers. Okay, guys, this is all about business studies. Are you all clear? Are you all clear? Any things you want to ask from me? Anything which you want to ask from me? What about others? Are you all there in the meeting? Hello. Yes, nang, yes, kiana, no, nang, no, kiana, doubts, nang, doubts, kiana. All clear. What about others? Atifa, Jamal, Amna, Atifa, Aisha, Haya, Hikma, Ilma, Mariam, Nedu, Nishma, Puvanya. Where are you all? Okay, perfect, perfect. Good. So that's all about business studies. Done. So now we'll jump into what the content. So guys, we have to do ACC or else AAT, ALS and all. Please, I beg you, drop me a message once the class is over. I'll guide you what to do, what not to do, and all. Now, because this is a recording also, there will be many people watching that. So if I'm doing that, it will turn out to be a promotion company. So I will guide you. Don't worry. Once your class is over, drop me a message. Yeah, BS, yeah, BS also, yeah, when you take business studies, even an arts stream student can do. But what I would suggest is, business studies is more suitable for a commerce. Guys, just think business studies and commerce. There is a good rapport, right? A relationship. Just think about business studies and arts, no relationship at all. Okay. Yeah, past paper questions, that's a good question. So when you see, if you have gone through my tude, you can see there are some questions I have added in. So my first priority would be past paper, because there are some lecturers, what they do is they make papers which is very standard, very tough. They will take out questions. I don't know from where the hell they got the questions. They make up some questions and you will be pissed off. Okay. Even a student who is getting 90 for that paper, they will be getting like 60 or 50 tamai. Okay, guys, that's no point to show off your colors. Okay, what I do is whenever I prepare the paper, I take the questions from past paper, because that's the standard name. That's what they're gonna test you in your final exams. So if when you go through the tudes also, all the questions are from the past papers. So because when you start doing papers, you had to start from past papers. That's what very important, because that's the standard. That's what gonna test in your ALs, right? So you had to give priority to that. So once you are done with your past papers, if you're perfect enough, then you can jump into other papers like model papers, zonal, lecturers papers, and all. Okay. Hope did you all understand that are a paper thing? So papers and all, just don't think now. Okay. First of all, we'll complete the theory. So once the lesson is over, we can jump into what? Chapter wise papers. Okay. Yeah. Next thing is we'll start the content. I mean, what are the subjects you have? I mean, the lessons. So wait a minute. So this one, I forgot to say, method to madness. So some students were asking, sir, how to study, what to study, when to study, what's the plan, this and all. So I will say the method to madness, that means simply the method to study. Okay. The first thing is, by lecturers, you will get only 40%. Okay. By my lecturing or any lecturing, you can get only 40%. Next one is papers. Papers is important. So by papers, you will be able to get like 25% contribution. And the next you have is self-study. That's what important. Okay, that's what important. So you can see lecturers, it's only 40s, but self-study, it's 34, because how much we study, I mean, teach all, you had to sit at a place and you have to study. That's obviously, it's a personal experience for you all from OLs also. And 1% is missing, right? To make it 100%. What's that? That's luck. Okay, because I'm not a person who believes in that, but at the end, you need some 1% luck also. So when you make up, you'll get the 100%. So lectures 40, papers 25, self-studies 34, and 1% is luck. This will make you 100% complete. Okay. Ek clear ne? Ek clear the? Yes, the? Yes, now just like YNS. Clear ne? What about others? Yes. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is the method to madness. This is how you had to, I mean, plan your studies. Next thing is your business studies content. Syllabus content. Okay, now we are going to start our official studies. So if you are planning to join my classes, continue my classes, this is how I used to do. I will give a tute. Okay, I mean, my tute will be like in one tute, I will combine 3 chapters and give. Like for a term wise, I will give tutes. So in one tute, you will have the first 3 chapters in our first tute. So that's my way of style. And when you're looking to the PDF also, which I sent, you can see I would have given some blanks. Okay, blanks, it's not y'all to fill. I mean, I will dictate the definition, you had to write. Because if I give the printed version, everything is printed, it will be like something, it will be like a sermon. Okay, when you write only, you are doing two things. When you write, you are reading as well as you are writing. So it will be what storing in your mind properly. Because when you write only, you will understand more. So that's how I plan my what the lecturing style. And the next thing is for each chapter I have a presentation. For each chapter I have a presentation because I know your generation, because you all don't like a traditional way of teaching using these whiteboards or markers, just giving out the notes. I know you need some visualization, you need some videos to watch. Okay, videos can good videos. Okay, videos to watch. You need some pictures to see, present day examples, because that's what impress does also. So I want to make sure that I am going to implement that for y'all also. Okay, so for each chapter I will have a separate presentation. In that presentation I'll include all the things, the example, the present day stuff and everything. Okay, so this is my plan. And you had to have a CR book. Okay, CR book because it's not to write notes. The main reason why you have to have a CR book is how much I explain. Sometimes you may understand in a different manner. My notes will be complex, or else the charts, the flow diagram which I am giving may not understand for y'all. So you will have a different way of understanding. So you can do, like short notes. So any extra notes or something, you can have that. So for that only, I usually say my students have a CR book. So for the extra stuffs and all, and also if there is any unit exam, so any extra questions which I'm giving, so you can write in that. So hopefully, if you have a CR book now, it's much better. And you can, we can officially start with this. So first of all, I'll explain the content, then you can copy down in your what, in your CR book. So I will show mine also. So this is the book which I used while I was doing my AS. My friends used to laugh, okay, because business studies usually they don't use books, writing books and all, because all the notes are in lecturers. But what I do is whatever the lecturers say, any extra stuff they say, I usually note it down. Okay, usually note it down. And also in their definition may be complex. My definition, the way I understood would be simple. So I write down those words. So still I have that book. So it's much better if you also can have, have that practice. Okay, done. And for that, you need to have a separate CR book for business studies. I know there are some genius who will have a book which is common for everything, for accounting, economics, business studies, for general English also. All these four subjects are in one book. I don't be stingy like that. Okay, so have a separate book. So I'll explain the content. So you have two grades, right? Grade 12 and obviously grade 13. So in grade 12, you have around 11 chapters. Okay, so 11 chapters starting from business foundations and ending up to trade. So these are the 11 chapters you have. So for each chapter, we'll be having a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation. So if you're joining my physical class, it would be more attractive also. Okay, so first chapter, it's all about business foundation. So they will be saying other names also, background of business, concept of business, anything, but simply about business. Then you have about CSR and ethics, government intervention, how the government is influencing the business. And the next thing you have is business organization. So business organization, okay, is something which you already know what is sole proprietorship, partnership, those and all. Then you have entrepreneurship and SME. So to be honest, this is very interesting, guys. You wait. Slide flew away. Coming back. Okay, it's back. So then you have chapter number 7, which is money and banking. In this, you'll be studying about what is money, what is banks, okay, what about checks and all. Then you have a chapter, which is the 8th chapter, which is insurance, then communication, transport. So obviously 8, 9, 10 are very small chapters. Then finally, you have a chapter called trade. Okay, so this is your grade 12 syllabus. Then you have grade 13. So in grade 13, you can see you have management, operations, marketing, finance, HR. So operations can name how production is done. Marketing can name, or right, promotion, advertisement, how you had to set a price for a product. Then you have finance management is almost like accounting. So you have HR management, it's dealing with employees, how you have to manage your employees. Then you have information system, it's like a basic IT. Then you have lastly, you have business plan. Okay, you had to prepare a business plan. If you want to start a business, what's the plan you had to have? So these are the 18 chapters you have in your syllabus. So it's divided into two. As grade 12, you have 11. Grade 13, you have what? 18. You have another extra 7 chapters. So the common thing which you can see is in grade 13, the word management is being repeating, right? We can see the word management is being repeating. So in grade 13, all the chapters are management, management, management. So what do you all think? Which may be hard? Is it grade 12 or grade 13? What do you all, which would be difficult? Is it grade 13 or grade 12? Grade 13, the grade 12. Which all think? Which is hard? Grade 12, grade 13. What about others? Nothing? Grade 13, grade 12, maybe grade 13. Okay, many are saying grade 13, many are saying grade 12. I would say, guys, very good, Ajman. Both are hard. Okay, grade 12 is also hard. Grade 13 is also hard. Nothing is easy. Okay, you had to be 100% for both. Okay, but in terms of interesting subject, so interesting content, I would say grade 13 is more interesting. So, sir, grade 12 is more interesting. These 11 chapters, it's much interesting than grade 13, but don't keep grade 13 aside. Okay, so grade 12 is much interesting than grade 13. I'll be open. But in terms of difficulty, both are difficult. Okay, guys, up to this, okay, the clear, the understood, the still they are sending grade 12 only easy. No man, both are hard. What about others? Okay, ne? Clear, 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 fine. So can you all take just 2 minutes and copy down these guys? I mean the content, first page, okay? First of all, you write your name, AL Business Studies, put a dash and keep. You don't know your lecture, right? You're not gonna confirm yet, ne? Okay, keep that. And the next page, write properly, syllabus content. Because I know your first page will be beautiful, then the rest would be hell. But first page, make it beautiful. So I write syllabus content, divide into two, grade 12, grade 13, and write this. Okay, can you all do? I'll give you 3 minutes. Once you're done, just put me a confirmation. Okay, once you're done, just put me a confirmation. Copy down this. Others copy down. Now I'll be reading the questions. Is business a high Z-score subject? No. Okay, in business studies, mostly they don't give high Z score. The reason is many do business studies. So when many do business studies, that's the first disadvantage. And the second thing is many pass, right? Okay, many pass studies. Okay, so first thing is many do business studies, and the second problem is many get through the exams. I mean, pass rate is high. Because of that, the Z score is low. So the subject which has high Z score is Econ and IC. Mostly ICT only has, because ICT only few are doing ICT, and also the pass rates are very low, right? So the examiner, so yeah, the paper setter, I mean the Department of Examination, they are thinking that only few are doing and only few are getting pass also. So ICT is difficult. So we will give more points, and they will see business studies. Many are doing business studies, and many are getting through the exam. So business studies is difficult. Sorry, it's easy. So we will reduce the Z score. To be honest, that system is completely wrong, guys. Because for example, there may be a student who got 100 for accounting. Okay, he or she may be island 50th, and the out of the island top 10, there may be a student who got only 90 for accounting. Okay, so it's unfair. The reason why that person, the 90 marks person, is in top 10 is because he or she did IC. The reason why that 100%, 100 mark student is in 50 is because he or she did business studies. So I would say Z score is important, Tamai, but island ranks, district ranks, to be honest, that's like an illusion, guys. I was a celebrity for 1 month. Okay, 1 month, not even 1 month. For 2 weeks, I was like the celebrity. They were asking, so what to do, how to do that, this and all. Now see, do they consider about me? No, right? So that's how. One day you'll be king. Next day you have to start your own work, right? So what I would suggest is, guys, please do business studies. It's not because of my subject. I'm saying definitely it will help in your future, because in some universities, to enter their university, when you take Ruhuna Finance Management, to enter their university, you need to have accounting, business studies, and eco, because they know if you are doing commerce, these three are the best combo. They know, because when you take ICT is there in max, it's in science, it's in arts, it's in commerce. So is it a subject which is related to commerce? No, obviously no. When you take economics also, it's a subject which is in arts also. Is it common to commerce? No. So business studies is something which is related to commerce. If you are doing higher studies, extra, I mean professional qualifications like chartered, ACC and all, business studies is important. There you won't see ICT coming and playing a role. There they won't give a damn on your Z score. Did you do business studies? Then you can continue. So that's how business studies is important for your professional qualifications. Done the copied the Finished? No issues, Aisha. Because ELIT and ICT would give you a good Z score that will keep you on top. But business studies, it's better for you because it's an easy subject, so you can easily get through the exams. Because ELIT and ICT are difficult. ELIT is very difficult, and also ICT also. So if you put like econ or something, it will be hell on. So business studies is a good choice for you. Guys, if you have any other doubts to ask, okay, just drop me a message after the class. If anything related to this session, ask here. If anything out of the box, please. Okay. Yeah, my number. Allah, wait. I sent privately. Towards the end, I will display my number. Okay, then you can have a note on that. Okay. So done, fine, everyone. Okay. Shall we move on then? Okay. We'll move on. So if you didn't complete, just take a quick snap and we'll go on. And for that, there are some students who always take snaps and they are like, okay, once the session is over, I'll write though. When I'm giving you time to write at that moment itself. If you don't have time, only take a snapshot. Okay. Therefore, next one. Okay, now the syllabus content is done. Next, which I want to say is it's important thing. Whatever you study, wherever you study, for whom you study, the final thing would be your final paper, your exam paper. That's what gonna decide your 2 year studies. Just a 5 hour paper will gonna decide your 2 years of hard work. Just what? A 5 hour paper. So that's important. So how much we study, we have to see the structure of the paper. Based on that only, we can have proper planning. So I'll show you the structure of the paper. See, okay. So this paper is 2021 AL Business Studies paper. One day you'll also get a paper like this. Okay. I'm happy to see. I wanted to see that reaction from you all. Okay. Can you all see the screen, guys? I mean the paper which I am displayed here. Can you all see the PDF? Can you all see the PDF? Yes, yes, yes. Fine, fine, fine. So see, this is the paper. Everything is printed. Okay, so you will have an experience of this just now, just 1 month before you had a paper like this So those are 2T papers. Now you have a standard paper, but the same paper, the same material. So see, so business studies, same like that. We have part one and you have part two. So in part one, careful, I'm showing that. So in part one, you have what? They will give you 2 hours. Okay, your part one would be how many hours? It will be like 2 hours. Okay, only 2 hours they will give part. So when you look into your part one structure, so in OLs for some subject you would have written the MCQs in a paper, right? Or MCQ sheet you would have written. But in ALs, remember in business studies only, careful. In business studies, you had to write the part one answers in the paper itself. In the paper itself, in the question, only part one. Part one answers and all you had to write in the question paper itself. Here, read this. Answer all the question on this question paper itself. There are some smart fellows. What they do is they write the answers in an attractive, in a beautiful manner, in an extra sheet, and they will attach to this and give 0 thumb. If you had to follow these instructions. Okay. So when you see the structure of the paper, remember in OLs you had 4 MCQs. In AS, you have how many MCQs? 5 MCQs. I mean, 5 options. Okay, earlier you had only 4. Now you had 5. It's common for all the subjects, some econ, accounting, everything. You have 5 options. What do you all think? Is it good or bad? Having 4 is good or else having 5 is good? Simply, is it good or bad having 5? What do you all think? What's your suggestion? Good or bad? Good. What about others? 4 is good. 4 bad. What about others? Bad, bad, bad. Okay, just think, if you have 4 options, what's the probability of getting the right answer? It's 25%. Am I right? You divide 100 by 4, 25%. That means getting the correct answer is 25%. Same thing apply here also. What's the probability of getting the right answer? Divide 100 by 5. 20%. Earlier, you had 25% of getting a right answer. Now you have only 20%. Remember, when the options get extended, the probability of getting the right answer get reduced. So when you have 5 MCQ, it's hell. It's very difficult. Okay. So remember, first question, you can see 5 options are given. So you have to write the correct answer. Some are there, they will underline. What they do, they underline. No, you should not underline. What you have to do, you have to write the correct answer, the correct option. Example, if it is 5, you have to write 5 here. Okay. So from 1 until question number 30. Okay. Until question number 30. Wait a minute. Okay. Until question number 30. Until question number 30, what you have is you have MCQs. Until 1 to 30, it's MCQs. I would say in your paper, the most important thing is these 30 questions. A person's grade A, B, C, it's gonna decide based on this. I'll be open. To be honest, if you get more than like 26 or 27 in your MCQs only, I can guarantee you can get it. Okay, because MCQ is very important, because for each question you get solid 1 marks. Okay, 30. Next one is you have fill in the blanks. Some it's like this, right? Okay, you will see this fill in the blanks question when you are in primary, like in grade 5 or 6 only, you'll get this fill in the blank question. Very easy name. What do you all think? Is it easy getting fill in the blank questions? Fill in the blanks. Is it easy? So this is the first time you are seeing a fill in the blank questions, right? What do you all think? Easy then. What do you all think? Fill in the blanks. Is it easy? I know, definitely you won't say yes, because the thing is, the way I asked the question itself, you understood this bugger is hiding something behind. With options only easy. Same thing, when my teacher said this, Pute, from 31 to 40, you have fill in the blanks. We were like, oh my God, this is the paper. We are going to make it. 10 questions now, 10 marks we are going to get. Later only we realize we don't have options. Okay, that means this blank, you have to write an appropriate answer. Remember, this word should be from the guide, which is in the marking scheme. Example, I'll take this question as an example. Based on physical existence, a computer is an example for a blank good. So answer is tangible good. Okay. For tangible, what you can write? Physically existing good also you can write. Visible good also you can write. So you have 3 alternatives: tangible, physically existing, visible good. But you know, they will give answer only for tangible. Even if you write visible, that is correct, but they will put a wrong. Why? Because in your guide, the word tangible is only there. Visible, physical, existing are a synonym and all, it's not there. Wrong. Zero thamai. So this is the main disadvantage in business studies paper, fill in the blanks. Why? Because they want the exact word from the guide. Even if there is a small deviation, cut off, just go away. Okay. So did you understand the weightage of this? So from 31 until 40, okay, until 40, you have fill in the blanks question. Then next one, from 41, so for that also you'll get 1 marks. You'll get 1 marks for each question. Next one, from 41 until 50. Okay, until 50th question, you have something to write. Okay, fill in the blanks also you have to write some. Here you have to write short answers. Like they will ask you 4 answers. Okay, for example, you can see all the questions they're asking you 4 answers they would ask, and you had to write a short answer. Though you're not going to explain stuff and all, short answers. For each question, they will give you 1 mark. And earlier, previously, before like 2020 batch and all, what they used to do is, in question number 50, they will give some logos, okay, are business logos or are institutes logos and all, and they will ask, what's this logo, Kela? You had to write that. It was hell, very difficult to do. But for your batch, it's much blessed, because nowadays, for the last 3 years, they are not testing that. So they are testing some other questions. Earlier, they had to give logos and they will ask you answers. What's this logo indicates? Sometimes they may give a BMW, is in a BMW. Sometimes they will give some institute's logo. Okay, Sri Lanka Institute's logo. Even some buggers don't know who is the president of Sri Lanka. Okay, guys, who is the prime minister of Sri Lanka? Who is the prime minister of Sri Lanka? I know you buggers are going and googling, right? Huh? Very good. I got a perfect answer at first. Okay, who is the prime minister? I didn't get the correct answer. So one answer I got is Ranil. Ranil is the prime minister of Sri Lanka. What can I say? Then who is our president? Vikramasinghe. Huh? See, even that we don't know. Even we don't know our present president and our prime minister. Then how can we remember these institutes logos and obviously? So it was difficult, but now we are blessed. Now they are not much just testing you all, but we had to study. Better safe than sorry, because the examiner didn't say nee, we won't test scalar. They have just omitted for last 3 years. So this is how your paper structure. Part one. Paper one. Part one clear the. Part one clear the. Yahuda, president is running. Part one clear the our structure. Clear ne? Part one. Okay, okay, fine, fine. Next one is part two. Okay, next one is part two. I will say part one is difficult. Compared to part two, part one is very difficult because that answer is one-time answer. Because when you take an MCQ, wrong, 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 right, wrong, right. But in part, it's not like that. You are writing, you are building some answers, right? So even if they are giving 2 marks for your attempt, even they will give like 0.5 or something. So part two, shit. So part two, see what's the time they are giving? They are giving how many hours? 3 hours. Then what about these 10 minutes to have a break? Is this 10 minutes to have a break? No, no. Additional reading time. That means your paper is for 3 hours and 10 minutes. 3 hours and 10 minutes mean the Prime Minister is Dinesh Gunawardena. Okay, so 3 hours and 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is for reading. Reading kyanne. It's not to check whether all the sides are printed, all the question. No, no, no. Reading kyanne. Out of these 10 minutes, you have to select the correct answer. I mean, the question. Because part it's gonna be a selection. You have experience, right? So in that, you have to select the questions which you're gonna do, right? So for that 10 minutes only, they have you selecting the question. Then for writing, how many hours you have? 3 hours. For 3 hours, you had to write. So how many questions you had to write? See, answer 5 questions, selecting at least 2 questions from each part. In your part 2 paper, you should have 5 questions. Okay, you had to write 5 questions. And one of the interesting part is you have 2 part, which is part 1 and you have part 2. Okay, you have part 1 and part 2. So in part 1, you have 4 questions. In part 1, you have 4 questions, and this part 1 is from completely grade 12. Completely from grade 12. If you see any other chapters testing, that's not your BS paper come out. Okay, and part 2, you have another 4 questions. Okay, another 4 questions. That's completely from grade 30. That's completely from what? Grade 30. So totally you have how many questions? You have 8 questions. Out of that 8, you had to do 5. So that 5 also, it's not like a buffet. You can't do whatever you want. So they have said that in part 1. Okay, part 1, you had to choose 2. In part 2, you had to choose 2. But you need 5. What about the extra one? That extra one, either you can choose from part 1 or else part 2. Okay, but both part 1 and part 2, you had to do 2 questions minimum. Okay, but that extra one can be from part 1 or else either part 2. Okay, is that clear, guys? Part 2 structure. Okay, the part 2 structure, find the find it. I didn't know the bang. Simply in part 2, you had to do 5 questions. Okay, so 2 questions from part 1 and 2 questions from part 2. Okay, so that extra 1 questions, it's like a choice. Either you can take from part 1 or else part 2. Example, you can select 3 questions from part 1 and 2 questions from part 2. Or else at part 1 and part 2 in this paper, okay, in your main part 2 paper, the structure. Or else what you can do is you can take 3 questions from part 2 and 2 questions from part 1. So many students, what they do is, so guys, what do you all think? What do you all think? Which structure would be okay? I mean, selecting 3 questions from grade 12 and 2 questions from grade 13, or selecting 2 questions from grade 12 and selecting 3 questions from grade 13. Which choice is good? Is it option number 1 or option number 2? What do you all think? 3 and 2 maybe. What about others? 2. Option number 2 is good. What about others? What do you all think? 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Option number 1, 2. Always remember when I throw out a question, very good. Umar knows my technique. Whenever I throw out a question with option, don't think those are the only answers we have. Remember, you can't say I will be selecting 3 questions from part 1 and 2 questions from part 2. You should not you should, you must not have that mentality. You had to be like, I'm going to go for the exam. Doesn't matter whatever the questions, I'm going to give my best shot. Okay, is it 3 or 2 or else 2 or 3? Never mind. whichever the questions which I think which I can give the 100%, I'm gonna select. You can't have a mindset, I'm gonna select question number 2 only, question number 3 only, and go. Because some students go, they see question number 2 is damn hard, I'm gonna be pissed off. Because they don't know try question number 3 because they were only practicing question number 2. Don't have that mindset. It should be like 8 questions now. I'm gonna hammer all these 8 questions. Okay, I should be ready for all these 8 questions. Okay. Depending on, because we don't know, right? Because every year you can't have the same structure of question. One year question number 1 would be easy. Next year question number 1 would be difficult. So you can't rely on that and go. You have to be prepared for all 8 questions. Okay, guys, clear the, okay the, perfect, perfect. Yeah. Now, guys, we'll jot down. I mean, the paper structure will jot down because now it will be like, somebody said, this is a paper. Okay, fine. But you have to have this in your mind. You have to have this in your mind. So I mean, not explain, draw the structure of the paper, copy down in your note. Okay. So first thing is you have part one. So in part one, you have how many questions? You have 50 questions. Okay. You have 50 questions. So for each question, you will be getting, remember, it's not one mark tamai, but according to your paper, it's 2 marks. Okay. You will be getting 2 marks. Then totally, you will be having how many marks, guys? Totally, you will be having 100 marks. Okay. Totally, you will be getting 100 marks. Done. Total 100 marks. So when you take the 50 question, the structure, so 1 to 30, 1 to 30, it would be MCQ. Okay, done. Then from 31 to 40, then 41 to 50, you will have points. 4 point, 4 point answer, we say 4 points. Okay, so this is your part one structure. Now we look into part two structure. Okay, now we'll look into part two structure. So your part two structure. Okay, so part two structure. I hope you are writing with me. Part two, AK, you will have two parts, which is part one, and you have part two. Okay, so in part one, you have 4 questions. In part two, you have 4 questions. Okay, part one, 4, part two, 2. And next one is, out of these 4 questions, you have to select how much? 2 questions minimum. And here also you have to select how much? 2 questions minimum. Plus 1 question. It can be either from part 1 or part 2. So this is your paper structure. So totally how many questions you are answering? 5 questions. For each questions, they will be giving you 20 marks. Okay, totally then how many marks? It's also for 100 marks. Done. So your paper would be for part, okay. So part 1. So part 1, you'll be getting 100 marks, and part 2, you'll be getting 100 marks. So totally, how much you will be getting? How much you'll be getting? You'll be getting 200 marks. Ne? So you'll be getting how many marks? You'll be getting 200 marks. So this is your paper. When you take any paper, accounting or economics and all, they usually take for 200 tamai. Okay, you may think why is 200? Because you have many things to answer. Ne? So based on that, they have to divide your marks also. So if you want to get an A, so that 200, that 200, they will divide into 2. It will be like a slap for you. Okay, they will divide that 200 into 2 and they will take into 100. Okay, they will take into 100. So if you want to get an A, okay, if you want to get an A, you had to score 150. You have to score get 75. Okay, how much will you get? You will get 75. Okay, 150. So 150 is not our target. Our target is 200. Okay, always you have to start our target for the what? For the moon? No, you have to target for the sky. Okay, moon is something below sky, right? So always target high. So our target should be 200, not 150. Okay, Note it down. Note it down. Okay. So today's lesson, what will you do? A small intro about me, okay, and also intro about your what's your AL career, what's your plan you're gonna have, all those stuff, okay, and also about the subject, a small intro, what is business studies, and the syllabus content and the paper structure. Now, when you so that would be this today's session. So when you go out now, definitely there will be a question from your parents or else your siblings or else mostly from your other stream students like your maxo bias students. They will ask you a question. Machan, you join for trial class and only you're doing commerce. Ne. So commerce nang they have an inferior thought. Ne. So they would ask, what did you study at first class? And you'll be like, Balanago, Manusya, he just came and screamed something, else current now, oils current nepa, a worth name, a paper structure, same Majan, he didn't start anything. And that bugger will be, that's why I said not to do commerce name. So see our class, we started our class, 15th exams over. Next day, 16th, we started our physics class. So in that, we studied about this chemicals, that chemistry, that this and all. They will be like ghosting to the level. Okay. You had to realize, I mean, you had to go through that pain until like for 1 year, you had to go through that. That's true. Okay. When they ask you a question like that, so how you had to tackle them, how you had to counter them is, "Machan, it's okay. Yeah, yeah, eka tamai commerce done naman, ema tamai. But then what's your plan after 2 years? After once you are done with your years, what's your plan?" So they will say, "Machan, it's easy. I will get a good results and go for a state university." Then you ask, suppose, if you don't get a good results, you don't get 3 years or else something happens for you, what you will do? What you will do at that situation? Remember, it's a question mark. They won't reply anything. Same thing ask for yourself. If you get a good results, you can go for state university. Even if you flop your results, okay, you have many qualifications to do. You have CAC, CACMA, you have some degrees to do, okay, like finance degree and everything, and you can start investing. Okay, you can run your own online business or small scale business, and it's easy to get a job because you have done commerce. Because they don't take doctors instantly once you're done with years, but you can take an accountant for a work once you're done with years. So for you, the field is open. Just ask these questions from that person who is doing biomax empty them. Okay, so remember, have confidence in this team which you're going to do. Okay, so this is the end of the session. So when I am ending the session, for those who are watching the recording also, I would say, when you're coming for the next class, if you're hopefully coming for the next class, you had to give me an answer to come. The answer is, first of all, I have to say the question name. So my question is, if next class will be starting our chapter, we'll be starting the lesson. So my question would be, what's the plan? I mean, what's your plan on starting a business? What's the business you're hoping to start? Everyone will have a small dream name. Okay, what's your plan? Any business? I don't come with that or a Jara business idea, sir. I want to start a grocery stores and all. Okay, those are not businessmen. Okay, a business idea which you have in your mind, which you wanted to start. Okay, some may not, but at least everyone out of here who is watching the recording also, when I'm starting the next class, my first question would be that. So you had to reply me. So what's the business you are hoping to start? If possible, drop me a message also. Okay, just sir, I have a dream of starting this business. I'm not taking fun of you because have an idea, have a dream. One day it will become true, right? So with that, we'll start the next class. Okay. With that, I'll end the class. So any doubts, any queries? So I'll write the number. My phone number is note 760141496. I will reply. Okay, sometimes I may take some time, but excuse us. Okay. So that's all, guys. That's all for the today. Okay, if you have any queries, any questions, anything to ask, you can drop me a message. Okay, when I'm free, I can help you all. Okay, so that's all for today. So thank you. I'll end the meeting. Huh?